Hey there, my friend. You know how sometimes you stumble upon a book that just clicks? A book that doesn't just give you information but actually feels like it's talking directly to your deepest self, shaking things up in the best possible way. Well, that's exactly how I felt about Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Meltz. It's truly a classic in the self-help world, and once you dive into it, you'll see why it's been impacting millions of lives since it first came out in 1960. I wanted to share it with you because it's not just a book to read, it's a book to experience. And it offers a really unique perspective on how our minds work. So what's it all about? At its heart, Cybernetics reveals that your self-image is the absolute key to everything in your life. Think of it like this: each of us carries around a mental blueprint, a picture of ourselves, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. This self-image, built from all our past experiences, triumphs, humiliations, and how others reacted to us, dictates everything: your actions, your feelings, your behaviors, even your abilities. It's fascinating because according to Maltz, you literally cannot act otherwise than the person you conceive yourself to be, no matter how much willpower you try to exert. Ever wonder why someone who thinks of themselves as a failure-type person always seems to find a way to fail? Even when opportunities land in their lap, it's because their self-image is running the show. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so my self-image controls me. That's a bit of a bummer. Can I change it? And here's where the magic happens. Yes, the self-image can be changed. This isn't just wishful thinking. Maltz, who was originally a plastic surgeon, discovered this firsthand. He noticed that while he could change a patient's physical appearance, sometimes they still felt ugly or inadequate inside. It was as if their personality itself had a face. He realized that changing the outer self wasn't enough. You had to change the inner self-image. He even shares stories of patients who, despite successful surgeries that removed disfiguring terms, still insisted they looked the same or continued to feel insecure because their mental image hadn't caught up. Maltz found his answers not just in psychology, but in a field called cybernetics. Don't let the word scare you. It simply means the study of how goal-striving mechanisms work. He realized that our brain and nervous system act like an incredibly complex servo mechanism, a built-in automatic guidance system. It's constantly working to achieve some goal. The crucial point is that you're not a machine, but you have and use a machine. And this machine, this amazing brain, works impersonally. You feed it goals and it gets to work. Feed it success goals and it functions as a success mechanism. Feed negative goals or images, and it operates just as faithfully as a failure mechanism. So what's the first key to directing this amazing inner mechanism? It's imagination. Maltz stresses that imagination isn't just for artists or inventors, it's active in everything we do. Why? Because your imagination sets the goal picture for your automatic mechanism. And here's a mind-blowing fact: your nervous system cannot tell the difference between an actual experience and an experience imagined vividly and in detail. He gives examples of dart throwing and basketball players who improved their skills almost as much through mental practice as those who physically practiced. This means you can literally practice new behaviors, attitudes, and feelings in the laboratory of your mind. Imagine yourself succeeding, and your nervous system reacts as if it's already real. This leads perfectly to another huge concept: dehypnotizing yourself from false beliefs. Maltz argues that many of our limitations come from ideas we've accepted as true, often unconsciously, from others or ourselves, just like a hypnotized subject accepts a hypnotist's suggestions. Remember the story of Dr. Alfred Adler, who as a child was convinced by his teacher he was dumb in mathematics. He accepted that belief, and his grades showed it, until one day you realized it was just a false belief and went on to excel. Or the salesman who always made exactly $5 a year, no matter the territory, because he saw himself as a $5 per year man. These self-limiting beliefs are like a form of self-hypnosis. The key is to challenge them with rational thought and new, constructive experiencing through imagination. So, how do we experience these new truths? Maltz says it's not through willpower alone, but through relaxation. Conscious effort and trying too hard can actually jam your creative mechanism. Think about it: when you're trying too hard to remember something, it often eludes you until you relax and let it come naturally. He encourages daily relaxation practices. Like imagining your limbs becoming heavy concrete or deflated balloons to reach a state where your automatic mechanism can work freely. It's about letting it work rather than making it work. This calmness isn't just good for mental tasks, it protects you from emotional blows too. You cannot feel fear, anger, or anxiety if your muscles are perfectly relaxed. Another powerful tool is rational thinking. Your conscious mind is the control knob. It's your job to feed it accurate information and define your goals clearly, focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. Don't dwell on past failures, use them as feedback to correct your course, then consciously forget the error and remember the successful response. This isn't denial, it's smart programming. As Bertrand Russell, the philosopher, learned to overcome his chronic unhappiness by focusing less on his perceived shortcomings and more on external interests, so can we shift our focus. And what about happiness itself? Miles argues that happiness is not something you earn or deserve, it's a mental habit. An attitude. We often get the cart before the horse, believing we'll be happy when we achieve something. But he says, if you are to be happy at all, you must be happy, period, not happy because of. This means deliberately choosing to think pleasant thoughts. Regardless of circumstances, it's about becoming a master of your internal state, not a slave to external events. Maltz even breaks down the qualities of a success-type personality into an acronym SUCC. These like a sense of direction, having clear goals. Understanding seeing things as they really are, not just your opinion, courage, the willingness to act despite uncertainty, compassion for others, esteem for yourself and others, self-confidence built on past successes, and self-acceptance tolerating imperfections. Conversely, he outlines the failure mechanism with the acronym FAILURE, detailing traits like frustration, aggressiveness, misdirected, insecurity, loneliness, uncertainty, resentment, and emptiness. The key is to recognize these negative signals as mere indicators that your inner mechanism is off course. Just like a car's warning lights. One of the most profound sections for me, and one that really hits home, is about emotional scars and forgiveness. Maltz the surgeon talks about how physical scars are nature's protection, but sometimes work against us. Similarly, emotional hurts can lead us to build spiritual calluses that cut us off from life and others. He insists that forgiveness is the scalpel that removes these emotional scars. It's not about letting someone off the hook, it's about freeing yourself. And you know what? Matt Fury, who updated this edition, shares an incredibly raw and powerful personal story in the afterword about getting his face shattered in a bar fight when he was young. For years, he thought he'd put it behind him, but the emotional pain lingered. It wasn't until he fully relived the moment in his mental movie house and consciously forgave both himself and the man who hurt him that he truly found peace and unlocked his full potential. It's a testament to how deep these scars can run and how transformative true forgiveness can be. He even had this incredible realization that even forgiveness is a mental picture. This whole idea of transforming yourself ties into unlocking your real personality through what he calls disinhibitionness. Often, what we call poor personality is just an inhibited personality, a creative self that's been restrained by excessive negative feedback or self-criticism. Have you ever been so self-conscious that you fumble your words or feel awkward? Maltz argues that this self-consciousness is often really others' consciousness, being too worried about what others think. He suggests practicing being less careful, speaking louder, complimenting others, and letting go of constant self-analysis to unleash your authentic, spontaneous self. Ultimately, it all comes back to cultivating that winning feeling. By vividly imagining your desired outcome as if it's already a reality, your nervous system generates the feelings of self-confidence, courage, and faith that go with success. It's like a thermometer that measures your inner set for success. And this isn't just for big wins. Maltz emphasizes gradualism. Start with small successes, remember them, and build on them. Finally, the book even delves into how these principles can give you more years of life and more life in your years. Maltz touches on the science of stress and adaptive energy, what we might now call resilience or vitality. He and Matt Fury argue that a positive mental outlook, a clear purpose, and a continuous forward-looking attitude can literally slow down the aging process at a cellular level. even influencing telomere length. When you have something meaningful to live for, you create a need for more life, and your body responds. So it's not just about achievement, it's about living a fuller, healthier, and more vibrant life. So what's my biggest takeaway and recommendation? This book isn't about magic, but about understanding how you're wired. It's about consciously choosing the mental pictures you feed your internal machine and consistently practicing those positive experiences through imagination. Reserve judgment for 21 days when you start practicing the techniques, because that's roughly how long it takes for a new mental image to solidify. Don't analyze or critique it, just do it. And don't set rigid deadlines for your goals, just imagine them, feel good, and let your amazing inner mechanism work without tension. Cybernetics isn't a quick fix, it's a program for better living. It shows you that the power to change your life is literally within you, waiting to be unleashed. It encourages you to stop blaming the past or others, and instead take responsibility for your own mental record, if you're ready to put on a new record of success and happiness. This book truly offers a clear, practical path to do it. It changed how I view my own potential, and I really think it could do the same for you. Give it a read, and more importantly, give its practices a try. You might just surprise yourself with what you're capable of.